Loki claims that he is the sun god who will bring about the end of the world. The giants think that releasing Loki would result in such a thing. The left hand of the Pirate King, Skopagabon, warns Luffy of Loki's insane power and the amount of casualties that will occur from releasing him, alongside confirming that the one who locked him up was none other than Redhead Shanks himself, the only person to seemingly defeat the current day Loki, who wields a special bounty of 2.6 billion. He is confirmed as the strongest giant. Big Mom implies that with his help she would have destroyed Kaido, Shanks and even Whitebeard. Was seemingly framed for his father's death. The world government wants him to join the God Knights for some reason, likely due to his power. When he was young, he wanted to join the insane crew led by Rocks, but got rejected in a similar vein to Luffy with Shanks. Loki likely wields one of the most insane devil fruits in the entire One Piece story. Some people are theorizing that he'll be the final crew member, like always. He will likely fight Shamrock, the captain of the God's Knights and brother of Shanks, wields a next level design and aura already, simply a giant among giants, with every new reveal about this mad lad resulting in the One Piece community to go crazy. Today I'll be breaking down everything you need to know about the biggest bait silhouette character in all of One Piece, the accursed Prince Loki, and the future of this already insane arc, which is Elbaf. Now to begin, leave your comments about Loki being a fraud, overhyped, or maybe even underrated to some of you. I'll get back to this later in today's video. So something we don't know for certain but are possible based on implications is Loki being stronger than Gaban. This is because he claims that Shanks was the one to lock him up, and before him no one was able to stop him, which may include the old man himself, who is way past his prime, but set up to be on the same level as current Rayleigh to a degree, as the left and right hand of Roger, and based on what he's done throughout the current story, Gaban being top tier throughout the world is likely the case. Additionally, since the timelines match up perfectly with the time Shanks became a Yonko, defeating Loki is possibly what had given Shanks that title, which also adds up when you consider Loki's special bounty of 2.6 billion, which was likely his 6 years ago as well. Now considering the special aspect, my guess is that it relates to his importance to the world government, something I break down more later on, but could have something to do with his devil fruit as well, an aspect hyped up throughout the entire arc thus far. But let's have a look at the God Knight scene with him. At first they are attacking the chained up Loki as they offer a chance at divinity and seem to just want his word of joining the God Knights, with Shamrock saying that long ago the savage warriors of Elbaf dominated the new world. The world government will bring them to heel no matter what, so perhaps getting Loki on their side as one connected to the older generation of giants will result in a higher chance of victory or pure domination to a degree, particularly if all the giants on Elbaf are required to take out Loki as a team or have a chance at stopping him, why Loki is recognized as the strongest giant currently in the story. But after the torture from Shamrock, he claims that him and Shanks are polar opposites, which may provide some insight about his clash with the Emperor alongside some other subtle reveals where it may not be exactly as it seems, similar to the whole Shanks stopping Kaido from pulling up on Whitebeard during the war. I guess every legendary battle featuring Shanks still requires many more reveals. But upon leaving, he tells Loki, "Feel free to hunt me down anytime. I'll face you then, assuming you survive this," which will likely be Loki's main goal after he's healed in the current story, of course going for that revenge as well for what he did to his friends. But that requires us to have a look at how strong these God Knights really are. So based on the lackluster performance of the elders, at least from a lot of people's perspective including mine, It's likely that the leader Shamrock, and of course his father, the Supreme Commander and new Gorosei, who had given Whitebeard a scar long ago, are above them when it comes to fighting ability. At least I'm on that side right now, with Dragon noting that when they mobilize them, the real fighting begins, meaning these are the true warriors of the world government, who may have the strongest family in One Piece surviving, that being Shanks, Garling and Shamrock respectively. And now looking back at this legendary moment, many are assuming now that he is discussing Loki, highlighting the giant's importance to the entire story once again. And to expand on all of this, all the parallels we've gotten between Loki and Luffy is quite insane. This is in regards to the true lore about the Sun God, which Loki claims that he is himself, the various question marks about Loki's devil fruit, and how the celestial dragons fear Nika the most. Perhaps the embodiment of pure destructive power is what we'll be getting. But let's have a look at what happened when Loki was 90% released. The Giants once again saying that Loki's a threat to the entire world, not just Elbaf, the entire world of One Piece, a Yonko caliber statement if you remember all the hype for Whitebeard back in the day, and demonstrates insane power while almost dead with one swing of his hammer, something in its own right that is hyped up to an insane degree. This is not even considering his most likely very wild devil fruit. Therefore, how strong do I truly believe Loki is based on what we currently know and my predictions going into the future of the story? So when it comes to power scaling, or at least this ranking between the tiers, I don't think there should be gaps between Yonko and Admirals, at least on the broader sense when we consider the titles alone. Each character part of these groups should be viewed on their own individual level. For example, how strong is Shanks, how strong is Akainu, how strong is Dragon, Luffy, etc. Not really separating them based on other factors. Just because someone's a Yonko doesn't mean they can't be defeated by an Admiral as an example. And the fact that Shanks was the one who seemingly defeated Loki 6 years ago doesn't really take much away from him considering how powerful Shanks likely is currently in the story. So boys, a 10% discount is available for all these GameStop flavors available for you. Check it out, link at the top of the description, everything helps the channel greatly. But if we come back to this image which highlights the key players moving into the final arcs of the One Piece story, I think we can pretty much place Loki in this group with the insane amount of reveals we've gotten thus far. Of course, he's likely not going to defeat Luffy in this arc by any means. I would like to imagine Luffy in Gear 5 is indeed stronger, but the extent of how much stronger we can't really say. So Loki being regarded as a top tier I think is pretty much certain at this point. And with all that, I hope you enjoyed. Shout out to these members, the absolute mad lads. Make sure to check out this video for more information about the tiering system and power scaling in regards to current Luffy